Good morning, students. Today in this class, we will cover some basic concepts about statistics. Let's look at the first definition that we have here. The definition that we have is about the statistics. So what is statistics? It is generally defined as a process where you gather the data, describe the data, and analyze the data. So all these things put together is referred to as statistics. That's one definition for statistics. There is one more definition which is more precise. It is also referred to as a numeric description for the sample data. Okay, so any description about the sample data is referred to as a statistics. It could be an average, it could be minimum value, maximum value, or it could be about the distribution of the data. Okay, so all these things, when you measure against the sample, it is referred to as statistics. Okay, we know that population is going to be really huge. Okay, population is going to be anything that I want to study is referred to as a population. It will be really huge. It could be, say, for example, if I want to study about diabetes in India, right? So all the people in India will be considered to be as a population, and it is going to be really huge, correct? So what I will do is I will not be able to study all of this whole data set. So I will just take a subset of this and then I will study it, right? So this whole of the data is referred to as a population, and a subset which is going to be a fraction of the data that we have in the population is referred to as a sample. Okay, so this is going to be your sample. Okay, so we have introduced two different terms. One is population. Population is anything that I want to study, anything that I plan to study is referred to as a population. It is going to be really huge, and it is the mother of all the data. Okay, so this is your population, and since the population is huge, I won't have time or resource or the cost to measure all the data points in the population. So I will take a subset from the population and study about the population, which is referred to as a sample. Okay, and anything that I measure about this particular sample is referred to as statistic. Okay, so let's coming back here to this definition. First definition states that it is generally a process where you gather the data, which means that you collate the data, then you try to summarize or describe the data and analyze the data. So all these things put together is referred to statistics. That's definition one. And the definition two is any numerical description about the sample is referred to statistics. So this is the sample that we talked about, right? And this is the population that we have, the whole of the Indian population, right, which is going to be really huge, right? So I won't have time or resource or cost to study all the data points in the population. So what I will do is I will take a sample from this population and study it, right? When I take a sample and I study it, and when I try to determine some numbers based on the sample, we call it as statistic. Okay, so any numerical description, it could be anything. It could be the mean, it could be your median, it could be your average, minimum value, maximum value, or it could be about the distribution of the data. All these things about the sample is referred to as statistic. Okay, so we have covered the first definition that we have here. Okay, and so this is one example which I have written over here. Okay, like how it gets practically applied in day-to-day life. Okay, let's say that in a country election is happening and people are about to elect a representative, right? At that point of a time, the media will do a survey and they will come up with some kind of a claim saying that party A has got a higher probability to win and they have about 80% approval rating, correct? So how is this being done? Do you think that the media people will go and survey each and every people in the country and come up with this number? It is really not possible, correct? So what they will do is that they will go to different places in the country and pick some random people and conduct a survey, right? And they summarize the data, right? And then they look at the numbers and they come to the conclusion saying that 80% of the people approve party A. So when I look at the overall country, we believe that 80% of the people in the country will approve the party A, correct? So this is a classic example where you apply statistics. Basically what we have done is I will not be able to study the population, so I take a sample, I study the sample, and then I infer for the population. That is what has been done by the media people, right? So that is how these surveys gets conducted, right? Because to be really frank, it is really not possible for anyone to go and survey each and every people in the country and then summarize the data. So what they will do is that they will pick up some random people, right, and they will have a own set of questionnaires, right, and it depends on what kind of questions they have. It depends on what kind of people they approach, right. Based on that, they get the approval rating, right. So in a way it could be biased, right. So that's what I'm trying to say. So some people get carried away with the claim which is being made by the media, right. They never tie up or they never align. Say the claim made by media X would be for party A, whereas the claim made by media Y would be for party B, right. This is something that we have seen across. That's because there is some kind of a bias in the data which is being collected by them, or there could be many other reasons which I don't want to discuss over here. Okay, so basically I have given you an example where the statistics gets practically implemented in a real-time life. Okay, so first thing is that we covered the definition for statistics. We understood two different definitions for statistics. One is the process where you collate the data and then describe the data and analyze the data. And the second step is it's a numerical description of the sample data is referred to statistics, which means that I won't be able to study all of the population. So I take a sample from the population and I study the sample and I determine some numbers for the sample. Whatever number that I get from the sample is referred to as statistic. Okay, so that's the definition number two. And we also saw a real-time life scenario where the statistics gets implemented, right? Now we have covered these two sections, and now coming to the third section, what is data? Okay, so this is also a very basic definition which people have to understand what data is. Any information which I collect is referred as a data. It could be about a rain which is happening in a region. It could be about the temperature fluctuation which happens in a country, right? Anything that you collect over a period of time, okay, becomes the data. Okay, it could be like you need to record each and every data point related to what you want to try and study, correct? So that is what you define as data. Okay, so this is something that there are different definitions for data, but I found that this makes more relevant and it's more relative to the statistics. Okay, and let's come to the third definition. What is population? I think that we have covered it here. A population is anything that I want to study, anything which interests me is referred to as a population. If you look over here, this is what is being mentioned. Okay, so this is the definition for population. A group of data which I want to study or anything which interests me is referred to as a population. It could be about anything. It could be about, say, I've given you some examples. It could be about all males in the world. It could be about all females in the world. It could be about all males in India. Okay, so it depends on how you define it. It depends on how you study. Okay, so say for example, I can also define population as all presidents in India. Okay, and a sample could be if all presidents in India is defined as a population, then the sample could be all presidents above the age of 70. Okay, that could be considered to be a sample, which is nothing but a subset of the population that we have here. Okay, so this is the definition for the population. We looked at some of the examples for the population. Now let's look at what parameter is. We know what statistics is. Statistics is any numerical information related to the sample is referred to as statistics. Likewise, any numerical description related to the population is referred to as parameter. Okay, which means that whatever that I derive or whatever number that I use for describing about this population is my parameter. Okay, so this forms the definition for the parameter, and I've also given you some examples before. Okay, and I have given you one more example over here. Mean height of all males in the world, or Covaxin has about 90% efficiency, right? This is also referred to as a parameter. Okay, which means that you are inferring something about the population, right? So what the medical people would have done is they would have conducted survey, or they could have conducted, sorry, not a survey, but they would have conducted trial and test on 1,000 people. Okay, and based on the results, they projected for the whole of the population, and they come up with claims saying that this medicine has got an efficiency rate of about 90%, right? So this 90% talks about the population, right? So that's an example for a parameter, wherein like I'm measuring something related to the population. Okay, so now we have covered what a parameter is. Now let's go to the next one, what a sample is. um, I covered this in the very beginning. What a sample is, it is basically a subset of the population. Okay, so from which you collect the data, correct? And I've given you example before, and here also I've given you an example which says that 100 males participating in a survey about usage of phone and headaches. Okay, so you are trying to find the relationship between the usage of phone and the headache, and you can't measure whole of the population. So what you do is you take a subset, right? That subset is going to be 100 males, and they are doing a survey, right, for these 100 males, right? So that's an example for sample. Now, if you look at the characteristic for the sample, the sample should be random, and it should be representative. It should have sufficient data points, and there should be no bias. These are some of the basic necessity to form a sample, which means that I should not have any favorism when I pick up a sample, which means that I should not pick up people of my choice, or I should not pick up people of my like. Okay, it should be random pick. Okay, so that's what randomness is all about, and it should be representative, which means that um, if in the above example, what we have seen is we looked at all the population in India, right? So when you look at all the population in India, you got about data which has to come from all the states in India. It should not be like you pick up data only from Karnataka. Okay, so you have to pick up data from all the states in the country. So when you pick up data from all the states, it will become representative, which means that it represents data from all the states in the country. Okay, and there should be sufficient data points, which means that it should not be like you pick only one data point from all the states. You have to have sufficient number, and there is a method, there is a statistical method by which I can determine how much people will go into each and every sample that I want to select. Okay, for that we have a calculation which we will discuss in the later class. And bias and randomness, they both are linked. Okay, like bias in the sense like I do some favorism, right? There should not be any favorism, right? That's what bias is all about. Okay, so again, let me summarize what sample is. It's basically a subset of the population. Okay, and it could be it has to have some characteristics, like it should be random, there should not be bias, it should be representative, and there should be sufficient data point for me to define a sample. Okay, so these are all the some of the basic definition that we have. That we need to have an understanding before we start looking into the concepts related with statistics. These are very basic concepts, right? If someone talks about parameter, you should know that okay, people are talking about population. When someone talks about statistics, then you should know that people are talking about sample, and you should know what a parameter is, and you should know what a statistic is. Okay, so these gets repeated in multiple places in multiple scenarios, so you need to have a clear understanding on these terms. Okay, now let's go to the next topic which I have written. It's about differential and inferential statistics. These are all two different branches that we have. Okay, there are two different branches in statistics. One is descriptive and inferential. This is at a very high level that I'm talking about. Okay, and there are different ways by which you can classify or categorize statistics. Okay, we will look into it as we go further in the classes, but let's look at these two definitions as of now. Okay, so descriptive, what is descriptive? So if you look at the term, it is this term itself gives you a lot of information about what kind of information or what kind of definition goes into it, right? So it is generally a process where you gather the data, okay, sort the data, create a summary for the data, you create a table for the data, you create a trend and charts for the data. All these things put together will be your descriptive statistics. It is basically a process where you slice and dice the data. Okay, so it is the first step that you will do when you are supposed to do any kind of analytics or any kind of a statistics. The first thing that anyone would do is descriptive statistics, which means that get to know about the data. You need to understand what the data is. You need to understand what columns are there, what kind of a data type is there. All these things will be coming under the concept called descriptive statistics. You have to gather the data, right? Whatever that is required for you to do the analysis. Then you have to sort the data, which means that when you sort it, you will be able to understand few information about the trend. Then you create a summary of the data. It could be a frequency distribution table, right? It could be a cross tab that you can do, right? And then you have to plot a trend, which means that week on week trend you can understand, right? Month compared with another month, right? You have to do some kind of a charts related with the data, which will help you to understand more about your data, right? It could be a pie chart, it could be a bar chart, it could be an histogram, right? So all these things will help you to understand more about the data that you are collating. Okay, all these things that we talked about goes into descriptive statistics. Okay, and what data is used? It's going to be only the historic data, which means that whatever has happened in the past, you utilize the data, you study the data, and you understand what happened and why it happened. Okay, that is what is defined as descriptive statistics. Okay.